Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
A wrestling personality has shared his opinion on Roman Reigns' uncertain WWE future amid his continued absence, which has frustrated his massive fan base. Vince Russo thinks it's only a matter of time before the tribal chief leaves the Stamford-based promotion for good to make a name for himself in Hollywood. It's no secret that Reigns has become a special attraction of late. He competed in only 6 matches last year and has already had just 3 so far in 2025. Moreover, the former Bloodline leader has been away since the post-WrestleMania 41 episode of Raw, where Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker took him out. That said, rumors suggest that he could be on his way back to WWE ahead of SummerSlam 2025. Amidst this, speaking on the Coach and Bro Show, Vince Russo stated that Roman Reigns had reached a level where he no longer needed WWE. The veteran added that Reigns had accomplished everything and that he could be planning for a life outside of wrestling by making inroads into Hollywood, similar to The Rock and John Cena. "I really believe Roman Reigns' future, in my opinion, is way, way beyond wrestling. I believe that, on heading to Hollywood, without a shadow of a doubt. I think he has every quality and everything that it takes. There is really nothing more he could do in the wrestling business. I think guys like Rock and Austin, and Cena, I think they reach that point where it's like, what else am I going to accomplish in wrestling? And I think Roman's accomplished it all. I think it's time for him to go on to bigger and better things," said Vince Russo. 1 hours and 58 seconds to 1:01 and 34 seconds. Roman Reigns wanted Jimmy Jacobs as his writer in WWE. In a recent appearance on the Café de Renee podcast, Jimmy Jacobs looked back at his tenure in WWE as a writer. Jacobs revealed that just before being let go from the promotion, Roman Reigns had personally asked him to be his writer. However, he added that those plans got derailed with his exit from the company. "I had a difficult time working for Vince. I just wanted to be able to play. I didn't get fired because I was bad at my job. The last 2 things I was working on SmackDown, it was Kevin Owens vs. Shane McMahon, and on Raw, it was John Cena and Roman Reigns. After that John Cena and Roman Reigns story, Roman came up to me and wanted me to be his writer moving forward. You know what I mean?" During his time away from WWE, Reigns has secured a major Hollywood project in the form of the newest Street Fighter adaptation. It's also worth noting that Reigns' former rival, Cody Rhodes, has also landed a role in the same movie. For over a decade, the name Roman Reigns has thundered through WWE arenas like a war drum. He's been the big dog, the head of the table, the tribal chief, a man who carried WWE on his back through eras of uncertainty, pandemic arenas echoing with silence, and storylines that stretched from the mundane to the mythic. But as fireworks crackle over packed stadiums and his music roars through arenas one more time, a lingering question pulses through the veins of the WWE universe: what if Roman Reigns is ready to walk away for good? The rumors began as whispers, half doubted, half dreaded. An insider here, a backstage leak there. Hollywood producers catching glimpses of his screen presence, agents noting the rare mix of athleticism and charisma. A grainy photo of Roman having dinner with a big-time director. An offhand comment from Paul Heyman that sounded suspiciously like a goodbye buried inside a thread. It makes sense, in a way that cuts deep for wrestling fans. Dwayne Johnson did it. John Cena did it. Batista did it. When you have the look, the voice, the quiet menace and the royal aura of a true superstar, Hollywood doesn't just knock, it breaks down the door. But Roman Reigns is not just another wrestler with a dream of a movie career. He's not the scrappy underdog desperate to escape the grind. He is, in every sense, WWE's crown jewel. He's the face Vince McMahon bet the Empire on when the Empire seemed shaky. He's the man who unified titles, destroyed factions, rebuilt them in his image, and turned booze into something close to worship. If the rumors are true, if Roman Reigns is really preparing to lace up his boots for the last time, then WWE is staring down a void deeper than any storyline betrayal or shocking heel turn. Backstage, the mood is tense but resigned. Some say Roman's contract quietly includes a Hollywood exit clause. Others swear Triple H has been trying to talk him into a part-time deal that would keep him appearing for the Big Four events, Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, just enough to bless the shows with his presence while he juggles blockbuster scripts and red carpets. Meanwhile, Roman himself plays it close to the vest. In promos, he teases fans with cryptic lines. "Everything I've built could crumble when I walk away. I'm not here forever, but I'll be remembered forever." The fans cheer, half thrilled, half in denial. Surely he wouldn't leave now, would he? The truth is, Roman has been hinting at a bigger life for a while. He's always wanted to prove he's more than just the golden boy handpicked to replace Cena. He survived leukemia twice, came back stronger, turned fans who once booed him relentlessly into loyal subjects. He learned to play the long game. And now, the long game might mean leaving the kingdom behind to conquer new territory. Picture it, Roman Reigns on a movie poster. Not as an extra muscle guy standing behind the hero, he'd be the hero. Or the villain. Or both. He has that rare stone-faced charisma, that sense of real danger that Hollywood action movies are starving for. The Rock, for all his charisma, leans into charm. Roman, with his brooding silence and simmering power, brings something else, a presence that doesn't fade when the camera stops rolling. Producers know it. They've been circling for years, each new box office flop of a generic action star reminding them that you can't fake what Roman Reigns naturally has. They see him playing ancient warriors, futuristic anti-heroes, tragic kings, unstoppable assassins. They see franchises, toy lines, streaming spin-offs. They see billions. For Roman, it isn't just about money, though the money would be obscene. It's about legacy. What is there left to prove in WWE? He's held every top title. He's headlined WrestleMania after WrestleMania. He's beaten Cena, Lesnar, Undertaker, Triple H. He's rebuilt the bloodline into a faction that feels like the stuff of legend, blood feuds, family honor, betrayal and loyalty all mixed in a pot that still boils hotter than any other storyline on the roster. But like all kings, he knows when the crown starts to feel heavy. Younger wolves prowl at the gates, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso wanting his moment in the sun. Maybe Roman knows the greatest act of power is to step aside before someone forces you down. Imagine his final night. The lights go out in the main event of WrestleMania. The tribal chief stands in the ring, surrounded by the sea of cell phone lights, the chants of "Thank you, Roman," echoing through the arena. He doesn't drop the mic with a cliché retirement speech. He doesn't hug old rivals or wave at the camera through tears. He just looks at the camera, tilts his head, raises an eyebrow, a final nod that says, "This part's over. See you at the movies." And then the music hits. Head of the table fades into the roar of fireworks as Roman Reigns walks up the ramp, cloak over his shoulders, title left behind in the ring like a crown on an empty throne. The next week, the hunt for a new king begins. Backstage, 1,000 questions explode. Who fills the void? Does Cody Rhodes finish the story after all? Does Seth Rollins step back into the sun? Does a returning Randy Orton take the throne? Or does WWE gamble on a fresh face, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, or someone yet unseen? The writers panic. The fans debate. The merchandise team prays they still have tribal chief shirts to sell for nostalgia's sake. But Roman? Roman is on a plane to LA. His phone buzzes with offers, studio execs, cameo requests, podcast invites, talk shows lined up for the next 2 years. He'll watch WrestleMania highlights from a hotel suite between takes. He'll see the fans holding signs, "We acknowledge you." He'll nod, maybe crack a rare smile, and then slip into character. Roman Reigns, the wrestler, goes quiet for a while. Leotti Joseph on Hawaii, the actor, steps into the light. In the end, he's not really leaving. He's expanding. He's bringing the aura of WWE into a bigger arena, where the ring is wider, the lights are hotter, and the stakes are global. Wrestling gave him everything. Now he gets to see what the world has to offer in return. And somewhere, someday, when the time is right and the stadium lights once again need a tribal chief to stand tall, maybe Roman Reigns will come back home, one final spear, one final roar, one last night at the head of the table. Until then, the WWE Universe watches the door he left open, and waits.